Well, they're the youngest airline, but have a lot of plans as far as the future of India's aviation is concerned. They're going to complete a year very soon. We're in conversation with the CEO of Akasa Air, Vinay Dube. Vinay, thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here. As I said, it's going to be 1 year soon, the 7th of August. How has the last 1 year been?
Oh, it's been extremely exciting, very rewarding. Challenging at times, but overall, very, very happy with the progress that we've made.
Okay, so 1 year mark is momentous on many occasions. Where do you see Akasa Air in terms of expansion? How many more aircraft can we expect, and what are the destinations that you're planning to add as well?
Sure. So we've taken delivery of 19 aircraft. The 20th one is around the corner. We have an aircraft order that we've already placed for 72. Yeah. And we expect by the end of the year to place a much larger aircraft order. We've said it'll be 3 digits, but exactly how large it is not something that we have shared as yet. And so soon enough we'll let people know. But I think India has a tremendous aviation potential. And I think Akasa will grow along with India.
Right. So, of course, the 20 aircraft milestone is also important on multiple reasons, because it's not just domestic. Now you can start looking at international as well. For international specifically, what is Akasa's plan?
So we hope to fly our first international destination by the end of this year, and then hopefully many more after. But specifically by the end of this year, that's the milestone that we're targeting. It's exciting. We don't know where. It could be east or west. But I think by the end of this year we'll be flying internationally.
Okay, I want to ask you something in terms of competition. Indigo has over 50% of market share. Then there is SpiceJet. We don't know what will happen with Jet. Air India is doing a revival of sorts. Where does Akasa see itself in a market that's thriving but also highly competitive?
Yeah, I think aviation has been highly competitive for as long as I've known it in every part of the world. So this is nothing new. True. And from our perspective, we're really focused just on ourselves. So if we have a competitive cost structure, if we have really an industry-leading customer experience, which is the physical experience, the reliability, the warmth, the digital experience, all of that encompassed. And if we do that with really sort of empowered, happy company employees, with creating an employee-centric culture, I think we'll be just fine. So we're not really worried about how many players that are out there. What we're worried about is really executing, standing by our customers and our employees. And I think if we do that, we'll be just fine.
That's good to hear. Vinay, Akasa has done a lot of things which has made it already have its mark in terms of certain departures, whether what it's offering for consumers, what it's done with employees. And we'll talk about that in just a bit. But just in terms of a gender representation, while we do keep talking about women force as far as the aviation space is concerned, do you think enough has been done? And as an airline, are you making a conscious effort to try and bridge that gap?
Yeah, I think globally, as far as the world is concerned, absolutely not. Not enough, has been done, and a lot more needs to be done. And I hope we're playing our part. I mean, a full third of our executive committee, which is the management committee of an airline, comprises of women. We have 37% women overall in our workforce, which again is not enough. We have a goal of 50-50, and we'll get there. And we'll get there soon enough. I can't give you an exact number, but it's beyond that, right? I mean, you know that we don't make our women flight attendants wear high heels. We've got tennis shoes, and it's not just in terms of sort of gender parity. I mean, we want to be a company that has a soul. We want to be employee centric. We want to be environmentally centric, and so we've got recycled rubber on the soles of the shoes. We've got recycled marine waste from which uniforms have been made. Our food packaging is 100% recycled, etc., etc. So that's the type of company we're trying to build.
Yeah. Interesting, you already touched upon that. From a consumer perspective, I want to understand a few things from you. Consumers are always very interested about the destinations that are being added, and there is always a certain strategy that every airline works with. When you made Bangalore that hub, that was also seen as a specific strategy. In terms of just adding to the consumer experience, what can they expect from Akasa in the next few months?
So I think we've rolled out what is a taste of the Akasa experience, and now we need to deliver it consistently across our entire fleet and across every element of the network. And so what is it specifically? It starts with the hard product. I think our seats are more comfortable. I think we've got more leg room. Our planes are brand new, which means that the level of noise, the freshness of the air, the pressurization of the cabin, I think is as good as it gets. I think it's the warmth and the kindness that I hope we have instilled in our flight attendants. It's the digital experience. I think there's a lot that our consumers can look for. Today we don't have it consistently on every seat because of supply chain restrictions, but within 6 months we'll have USB outlets on every single seat with device holders. So we really, when we say industry leading consumer experience, we really mean across all categories of airlines. That's what our consumers should hope, and we hope we deliver that.
Right. You already spoke about the departure that you made for the uniform, and that's gotten a lot of feedback. All good. What was the thinking behind it? It wasn't easy because we're so used to a structured uniform. I understand comfort was one of it, but how easy was it to make that departure?
This was we didn't anticipate that we would get this kind of visibility. For us, it had nothing to do with visibility. It was, we wanted a uniform that was comfortable first and foremost, and in particular, it was a focus on shoes, because those are, our flight attendants work hard and they stand a lot. And so that was one. And the second thing was it had to be gender neutral. And the third was we wanted to use sort of recycled material to the extent that we could. Making that decision was about as easy as it got, because that's just what we stood for. Those are the values of Akasa. Beyond that, we just put it in the hands of experts and they delivered what you see. So it wasn't that difficult, as long as you put a stake in the ground in terms of what values you're going to stand for, everything else follows.
The other interesting policy which got a lot of interest on social media was the pet policy. Now, till now, we'd only seen Air India have something so accessible to consumers. What was the thinking with that? Because I did see a lot of pet parents very excited about that. So how were you so sure of bringing it in such an initial phase of your launch itself?
Again, Ridhima, it was just a question of who we are and what we stand for. Some of this, it just comes from our personal experiences. It's not just me, although, my wife and family are crazy about pets. And we've got 2 rescue dogs at home. But all of us, when we talk about really serving, the diverse needs of India as a whole, well, pet parents are part of that diverse need, right? And so we're really trying to, when we say diversity and inclusion, that we're really trying our best for a very broad sort of stroke and brush in terms of what diversity and inclusion really means, and trying to address every element of that breadth of that canvas.
Right. Vinay, lastly, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's loss, of course, was not just a loss for Akasa, but a loss for the industry at large. What were the kind of messages of him that you still want to continue with the functioning of Akasa? What do you think is going to be something which is going to be carrying forward the legacy of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala?
I think, honestly, just creating something that is enduring, creating something that his grandchildren can fly on, something that lasts for 50, 70 years, but in a manner where consumers are happy, and because, he really believed in good customer service, but also in a manner that employees are happy. And this is the part that people may not know about him, but he was very focused on, employees' mental health and mental well-being. So if we can do both of that and create an enduring franchise, I think we will make him proud.
Vinay, thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you.